to the last edition of MHQ's SFO and MFO mini-series, where today we wrap it up by looking at the absolute blue chipper with a deep dive on DIFC and ADGM. So Kath, ready to go to wrap it up?
Yes. So today, Yann, we will dive deep, as you said, into family offices incorporated in both DIFC and ADGM, and we will discuss their differences in these two jurisdictions. Since our last webcast comparing the options of SFOs in ADGM and DIFC, there have been a few updates, especially in the ADGM. So I thought that we could refresh this comparison in today's webcast and add information on MFOs as well. So my question to you, Yann, is what are the differences between DIFC and ADGM in terms of SFO and MFO?
So the environment of ADGM and DIFC is by and large very similar. You're thinking BMW versus S-Class Mercedes. You're thinking high quality carriers. And on these, you have these two solutions, and they are very similar. If you are a sophisticated family that does only proprietary family investment for yourself, then in terms of supervision, there is none. So you are in a very highly regulated environment, yet you have an exemption because you are only doing proprietary investment. That's the good news. Second, that's the second similarities, is that both allow for privacy. If you do not want data in the public domain, you can ask for it in both centers, and effectively what you will see is just the name of the SFO, and that's it. Now, when you share it with counterparty, financial institution and the like, of course, they will receive that data, but in the public domain, nothing. And this, we think, is the super commodity that the UAE offers. So what are the differences? You can see two here. One, both jurisdictions differ in their definition of minimum investment or administration asset criteria. In the DIFC, you will recall, it's USD 50 million net asset value under administration. So this can be 50 million of real estate, digital assets, or financial portfolio, whatever asset, whatever geolocation, doesn't matter. In the ADGM, slightly different. It's $30 million, so less, but under management. And these have to be liquid assets. So slightly different definition, slightly different hurdle. The hurdle in ADGM has gone up a bit, but we think that this is still very balanced based on international standard, particularly when you see all the benefits that you can get. And one of the benefits in the DIFC is that if you have a permanent establishment somewhere else in the UAE, for example, in the non-financial free zone, you do not need to have an office in the DIFC. And that's quite powerful. In the ADGM, you have to have an office, which serves also as creating substance here. So it's good practice. But if you are here as a family for the past 20 years and you want to use the DIFC, then you get exempt from not only financial supervision, but also from having a permanent establishment in the center. And if you look at multi, some of it will be similar, but we saw it in the prior episode, the watermark will go up. So will you be supervised? Well, not if you do not provide financial services, but if you do, then you have to be regulated, category 3C or 4, same in the DIFC and ADGM. So generally, if you start to manage money, you need to be regulated. From there, you have to have an office. In fact, the DIFC allows for an exemption, even if you manage money for multiple family, but it's really in the startup phase, so it's probably safer to say that both need an office in the DIFC. Privacy is different, because all of a sudden you're not one family, you're multi, so the visibility on that regulated animal is there. Now, can you achieve a modicus of privacy still? Yes, by structuring the shareholding into one or several foundations, for example, a trust or similar arrangement, but the controllers of that entity will be visible. So that's important for families to be aware of. Minimum investment criteria. If you are a multi-regulated, the important thing to know here is that every family needs to qualify. So that can be quite demanding. Is there an alternative to that? The answer is yes. You just do not name the company MFO. you call it an asset management firm. And from that moment onwards, the clients do not need to have 50 million under management or administration. They just need to have the minimum threshold of a sophisticated client of the DIFC or the ADGM, and then you're good to go.
Okay, great. Thanks, Yann, today for your input. And as I mentioned previously in our webcast, we do have a comprehensive fact sheet on this topic of MFOs, where we touch upon the benefits, options, permitted activities, and much more. And we will be happy to share it with qualified applicants. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.